Welcome back to Nation of Glory, where stories of heart, courage, and legacy come to life. Today, we bring you the story of a warrior, not just a fighter in the ring, but a symbol of pride, power, and perseverance. He is the pride of Dublin, the Irish legend who carried his roots into every battle, every arena, and every moment of pain and triumph. This is the story of Stephen Farrelly. The world knows him as Sheamus, the Celtic Warrior. Background crowd cheers fade in softly. From the cobblestone streets of Dublin to the roaring arenas of WWE, Sheamus's journey isn't just a wrestling story, it's a story about fire, faith, and the will to never back down. It's the story of a man who carried his heritage like armor and his dream like a sword. Born in Dublin, Ireland, Stephen Farrelly wasn't the type to wait for destiny, he chased it. As a kid, he grew up watching legends like Bret Hart and the British Bulldog light up the squared circle, but deep down, he didn't just want to be a fan. He wanted to be one of them. He wanted to feel the roar of the crowd. He wanted to make his country proud. Soft Irish flute begins to play. Long before the bright lights, before the fame, Sheamus was a bouncer, a bodyguard, and a dreamer. He worked the doors of nightclubs in Dublin, handling rough nights and real fights. But in his heart, he carried something greater, a vision that one day, the world would chant his name. He trained hard, sculpting his body into a warrior's frame, blending strength with discipline. And soon, the small stages of the European independent circuit became his proving ground. There, in the dingy halls and tiny gyms, Sheamus learned the truth: greatness isn't handed to you. It's earned through pain. He fought under various names, performing across Ireland and the UK. He wrestled wherever he could, for a few pounds, for the love of the fight. And every match, every bruise, every cheer, was another step toward a destiny waiting across the ocean. Music transitions into a rising cinematic beat. In 2006, he caught the eye of WWE scouts. A towering Irish powerhouse, with pale skin and fire-red hair, he didn't look like anyone else. He looked like someone meant to stand out. And soon, his journey brought him to the land of giants, America. He signed with WWE's Developmental Territory, FCW, Florida Championship Wrestling, where the best of the future were made. But even there, the road wasn't easy. While others blended in, Sheamus's accent, look, and heritage made him different. But instead of hiding it, he embraced it. He became the Celtic Warrior, proud, bold, and fierce. And when he finally stepped onto the main WWE stage in 2009, the world saw something fresh, something real, something dangerous. Sound of crowd roaring louder, bell rings. His first major impact came faster than anyone expected. Within months of debuting, Sheamus did the unthinkable: he defeated John Cena at TLC 2009 to become the WWE Champion. A rookie, a newcomer, a man from Dublin, standing tall as world champion. It was shocking. It was historic. It was the birth of a new force in WWE. But with great success comes great pressure. And the higher you rise, the harder the fall can be. As years went by, Sheamus faced criticism, injuries, and doubt. Some fans questioned if he'd earned his place too fast. But Sheamus didn't just fight opponents, he fought perceptions. Every night, he went to war, proving that he wasn't a fluke champion. He was a real warrior. Music shifts, heavier drums, electric guitar undertone. Through brutal rivalries with Triple H, Randy Orton, and Daniel Bryan, Sheamus proved his worth in blood and sweat. He didn't just talk tough, he was tough. Whether it was inside Hell in a Cell or the Royal Rumble, Sheamus brought a style that fans couldn't ignore: hard-hitting, old-school, and unapologetically physical. And then came WrestleMania 28. 18 seconds. That's all it took for Sheamus to become a viral sensation. One brogue kick, one moment, and he became World Heavyweight Champion again, defeating Daniel Bryan in record time. That victory wasn't just fast, it was fierce. It cemented him as one of WWE's top stars. Sound of crowd chanting, Sheamus. Sheamus rises. But behind every roar of triumph, there was a man carrying real pain. Years of punishment, back injuries, concussions, the toll of being one of WWE's most physical performers began to show. There were nights he could barely move, mornings he could barely stand. But still, he went out there, night after night, because warriors don't quit. And that's what Sheamus always was, a warrior. Soft melancholic Irish violin plays. In 2017, the pain caught up. Doctors told him to slow down. But Sheamus, stubborn, proud, relentless, kept going. He formed a tag team with Cesaro, known as The Bar. What began as a rivalry turned into one of WWE's greatest partnerships. They didn't set out to be best friends, but they became brothers. Together, they ruled the tag team division, capturing multiple championships and redefining what tag wrestling could be. The bar became more than a name, it was a declaration: we don't just set the bar, we are the bar. Music intensifies, electric energy fills the sound. But time, as always, brings change. After years of success, the bar disbanded. Cesaro went his own way, and Sheamus was once again alone in the battlefield. In 2020, after a career-threatening injury, he returned once more. The crowd erupted, the Celtic Warrior was back. But this time, it wasn't just about championships. It was about legacy. It was about proving that even when your body says no, your heart can still scream yes. Sound of roaring crowd, then soft transition to emotional theme. And so, he kept going. He reinvented himself again, forming the Brawling Brutes with Ridge Holland and Butch. A new era, a new family. Under his leadership, the Brutes brought chaos, laughter, and heart back to SmackDown. They fought not for fame, but for pride. And through every brawl, every bar fight, every thunderous brogue kick, Sheamus reminded the world what it means to be a fighter from Ireland, fearless, fiery, and proud. Soft Irish whistle fades in. One of the most emotional moments of Sheamus's entire career came in 2022 at Clash at the Castle. For the first time in over 30 years, WWE hosted a major stadium show in the UK, and Sheamus stood in the center of it. He faced Gunther in one of the most brutal, unforgettable matches of the modern era. The crowd, over 60,000 strong, gave him a standing ovation, not because he won, but because he gave everything. Every punch, every chop, every scream, it was Sheamus showing the world that win or lose, he's a legend. Music swells emotionally, crowd chanting, "Thank you, Sheamus." That moment wasn't just a fight, it was a tribute. A tribute to 2 decades of sacrifice. A tribute to a man who never took shortcuts. To a man who bled, broke bones, and kept coming back because he loved this business more than anything. Even in 2023 and 2024, while injuries tested him again, the fire in Sheamus never dimmed. And now, in 2025, standing tall on Monday Night Raw, the Celtic Warrior remains one of the most respected men in WWE. He may not hold the world title right now, but he holds something greater: respect. The kind of respect that's earned, not given. The kind that comes when fans rise to their feet, not because they're told to, but because they feel it. Soft Irish drums fade into a calm, emotional melody. Today, Sheamus represents more than a superstar. He represents Ireland, honor, and resilience. He's the living example that no matter how many times life knocks you down, you get back up, brush the dust off, and hit harder. From the boy who dreamed in Dublin, to the man who conquered WWE, Sheamus has built a legacy that will be remembered long after the lights go out. He once said, "I fight for pride. I fight for my people. I fight because it's who I am." And that's what makes him special. He's not just a character, he's a man who gave his heart to every single match, every single moment. Soft cinematic music builds toward conclusion. And maybe that's why fans love him so deeply. Because when Sheamus walks into the ring, we see ourselves. We see someone who's been doubted, someone who's been hurt, someone who's been told he's finished, and still stands tall. He's not perfect, he's human. But he's real. From his first championship to his countless comebacks, from the brogue kick that shocked John Cena to the ovation that shook Cardiff, every step of his story screams one truth: the Celtic Warrior never quits. So as we stand here in 2025, watching Sheamus battle younger stars, mentoring new talents, and still giving his all, one thing is clear: legends never fade. They evolve. And Stephen Farrelly, the kid from Dublin, has become more than a legend. He's become an example. Soft crowd chanting fades in again, "You still got it." Echoing. He has inspired millions, entertained billions, and carried his country's pride into the heart of every fight. And even when his final day in the ring comes, the name Sheamus will echo through history, not as just a champion, but as a warrior who never stopped fighting. Music rises, then slowly fades to calm. So the next time you see him raise that arm, beat his chest, and scream, "Fella, remember this story. Because behind every roar, there's a boy from Dublin who believed in himself when nobody else did." Soft Irish melody carries the outro. Thank you for watching Nation of Glory. If you felt inspired by this incredible story of passion and perseverance, make sure to hit that like button. Share this video with every wrestling fan who believes in comebacks, courage, and legacy. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to Nation of Glory, where we celebrate the warriors, the legends, and the dreamers who turn pain into power. Until next time, stay proud, stay strong, and always remember: true warriors never fall, they rise again.